Good morning, everybody. Emily here, and welcome back to the homestead. I am going to do sort of an update video on the baby chicks and Keats. They are getting pretty big. We had two of those small waters, but they're going through them so fast I changed them out for this big one this morning. Refilled their grit, gave them some more pine shavings. They've got a hanging feeder now. They were making quite the mess with the little troughs on the floor. And I tried to give them some vegetable and fruit scraps this morning. They got a cucumber that was a little too old and a few strawberries. And they're eating the cucumber, but the strawberries they haven't quite figured out how to get into yet. But as you can see, that one just showed us that they need a perch. I had those baby gates still in here that I was using as their brooder pen, and day one they knocked them over when they were just freestanding, so I took them out so they didn't get hurt, and I still haven't made them a perch. So I'm going to make them a perch hopefully today, but also today I want to get them outside. They're fully feathered. It's plenty warm. Well, most of them are fully feathered. That little bantam over there that might be a rooster, I have no idea, is not fully feathered. Like, he or she has got this stripe down its back with absolutely no feathers on it. But I mean, they've had this window open overnight, day and night, and it's been warm. But I would like to get them outside. So far, there's nowhere to put them outside. This stall does not have a door like the other one does. But this stall is right next to this door to the outside that I can open up. And so I would like to put up some fencing outside of this. And that way, not only will they be able to get outside, but they'll be able to see the big chickens, and the big chickens will be able to see them through the fence that I currently have there. And they can get used to each other, so hopefully by wintertime they can all be in one stall together. The first thing I'm going to do is get this area in front of this big sliding door cleaned up. There's just a whole bunch of stuff in front of it, stuff from having the brooder. So there's just a bunch of stuff over here to get out of the way, because eventually when we open this gate to the stall and open that door, there's going to be, an area in here where the chickens will kind of need to be able to walk around in. And that's the one thing I don't think I've figured out yet, is what to do in this space between when that gate is open and the wall over here. I have like the beginnings of an idea, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. So first things first is to get this area cleaned out, and then we'll gather all of our materials to make the fence, and then make the perch, and then we'll try to figure out the whole wall between the gate and the wall thing. the area that they're gonna get to go outside. And you know, it's nice that there's a cement pad here in general, but not necessarily for the chickens to come out and poop all over. That's gonna be gross, but hopefully they'll just go out in the grass and do it. And there are the big chickens. So I think I'm going to put a fence from the corner of this little piece of the shed over to kind of near this pine tree, but leave a space to, you know, walk through, and then over to that corner of the barn. So it will be nothing in comparison to what the bigger chickens have to work with. They've got, you know, this whole entire space here. You can see the posts back there. But eventually, I'm hoping to take down this fence here to combine the two spaces, and then close this space off again and have everybody out there. And in the other stall that the chickens go in at night. So this first awning is where the little ones are, and the second awning is where the big chickens are. Now let's go find some materials to use. Now, I've noticed some stakes over here on the other side of this barn that should work well enough. Most of them are pretty long. Some of them have those little triangle things at the bottom to help drive them in and hold them in place. So we'll see if this is enough. If not, I know of at least 2 more of the ones with the triangle things on. My sister used them to make a little, I'll show you. This gate, when it closes, it doesn't enclose the entire front of this little shed. And so she used some hardware cloth and some of those stakes with the little triangles on the bottom to make a little wall there so we could close up the turkey so it couldn't get to any food before we processed it. So if we need a couple more stakes to hold up the fencing, then I will grab those. And then there's one more like kind of big metal pole in the barn. I have no idea what it's for or what it's from, but it could work. So in the big barn, I actually have some fencing that I think will work really well because it has smaller holes in it. One reason why I don't want to just go ahead and let the little chickens straight in with the big chickens, other than that they'll get picked on and, you know, because they're so much smaller and newer and the whole pecking order thing. They're still just a little small for me to want to put in there with them. I'm walking right past the door. But if I put them in to the outside area where the big chickens are, the fencing has like really big holes, so these little guys could just go right through them. But at our town trash day, which I need to learn more about for next year because there's some things that I think I would like to take and drop off. But it looked like mostly metal scrap is what was being dropped off. I got some really cool stuff. There was all of this fencing here. There's this, it wasn't rolled up, but then there's 2 rolls of it. I think it's the same kind or very similar. And then there was some pieces of this corrugated metal, like roofing material or siding material. It's like, heck, I can use that. So I just stuck it in the back of my car and brought it home. Daisy's currently using this as a scratching post. So sorry, Daisy, but I'm going to take your new scratching post. So this will be I think, more than enough fencing to fence in that little area. I'm also going to need a 2x4, a thinner piece of wood, some nails, and I've already got zip ties over there to attach the fencing to the post. So I've got to find those boards and then get all this stuff over there. These will work. I'm going to rip this one down in half, so it's 2 pieces lengthwise, and this is an old kind of crappy 2x4 that I don't think we're going to want to use for anything else. I actually already used the other half of this board. I cut it, here, and then ripped it that way. Hi, Daisy. When I was putting up the fence for the big chickens. And so I'm just going to use this one the same way I did that one. Which I will show you why I need these pieces of wood when we get back over there. I'm going to need you to go somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, I know. Come on. No. Okay. Down. Nope. No more kitties. No more kitties. They're not completely even, but that doesn't matter for this. Let me show you what I'm going to do with the boards. Over here on the side of the barn, see, I put a 2x4 here and then nailed this board over the fencing material to hold it in place. Now there was a board like that, the 2x4, in the wall of that other barn before I started putting the fence up, and I got the idea to use that, and I also attached it to that. You can't see it on the camera. There's a pole over there that's really tall. It's got a little piece of orange stuff on it. That's where I attached the fence to over there, and I used a board with some nails in it for that, and I also did that over here on the side of this. So I'm going to do the same thing at this corner, and then on the side of the barn over there. Over there is where we're going to need the 2x4. Got this nice blue spruce kind of in the way. It's a little pokey, but when I did it before, I used where these nails are located to guide where I put nails into the 2x4. So that should help me get it actually nailed into something. So I'll probably put one here and one here, and that'll be good. Before I nail this into the structure here, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more posts along the fence because it's pretty wobbly, and zip tie those in, and then I'll do that last, because then after that I'll have to walk all the way around through the barn to get over here. I had to take a little break. It was just getting really hot out, so went in, got some more water, helped my youngest with homework. She could just stay focused on it. A lot of trouble with that. And now I'm back out here. The last post I was trying to put in was just too crooked, so I got those ones that my sister had used. Traffic. That was a big truck. Thankfully, that's not a common occurrence around here, that I get drowned out by traffic. Anyway, I used those two that were in that other shed and brought those over and picked out the straightest one because one of those was a little crooked too. So I'm going to put that one in, and then I'll be able to nail the end of the fence to the structure over here, and the fence will be done. Now this is secure here. And down here at the bottom, I tried to find those U-shaped nails or staples, but I couldn't find one, so I just used another nail and then bent it up. But despite my list of things not being done for the day, I might be done for the day because I hit myself with the hammer doing the second to last nail, and it's a little bit swollen, so I'm going to go put some ice on it. I might be back out after dinner, but I might be back tomorrow to work on the rest of this. Okay, I am back at it after dinner. My hand feels much better. There's still like a little bump, but it doesn't hurt anymore. The swelling went down. I iced it a couple times, so I think I'm good to go. Now behind me here, this whiteboard here, it is some kind of frame that I'm thinking I could use that for the wall section I need to build between the gate for the stall and the other side of the barn. So I'm gonna dig that out and get it over to the other barn, and we'll see how well it fits and if I need to find more lumber or not. There is a family of mice on the next board I was about to grab. Oh my gosh. See if I can get the cat's attention. Well, it ran off before I could get the cat over here, but she is over there looking around and it went behind the boards, so I'm going to go ahead and move them and hopefully she'll catch it. There's also a toad over there on the floor, so hopefully she does not catch that. Little toad. Oh, he's a big fat toad. He's gonna go outside. Well, she found the nest and there are babies in the nest and she's taking care of that for us. So since she's right where we need to be, I'm gonna go gather up the materials to make the perch instead. So yeah, we'll come back to this area later when there's not a cat and mouse thing happening. Got all these boards. Most of them are 2x2s. This one's more like a 1x2, but I'm not sure how many of them I'm going to use, but I think I'm going to go ahead and cart these all over to the other barn and build it over there. here's the finished perch. And I was worried it was going to be too small because I used these boards are not full-sized like the ones for the other roost, the one that the big chickens have, but they also have 4 bars. And when you do the math though, these boards that go across are about 72 inches long. There's one of them that's a little bit longer. And you need about 10 inches per bird, I think. That's just off the top of my head remembering. So, plus these babies are small. We're around 72 to 70. So it'd be 7 birds per row. There's 4 rows that could fit 28 birds easily, and there's 22 of them in there. Now, before I give them the perch, I'm going to close this big door behind me so they don't just run out into the yard. Which, well, I guess they'd run out into this fenced area, but since I don't have the wall built in here, they go all the way down there and disappear. Or get caught by a dog because they're still so small, I'm not sure if the dogs would leave them alone or not. I think this indoor-outdoor situation, giving them a run, will also help the dogs get acclimated to having more birds and different birds. And they'll be able to understand that they need to leave them alone. Because I can actually tell them to, because they can see the birds. So get this big door closed. Probably go ahead and close the other one, and then give the babies their perch. We already have one taker. Looks like there's another one about to jump up. Yay! Oh, went straight to the second one. I'm back in the other barn and gonna try to get this thing out again. The cat is still looking for that other mouse, which may pop out while I'm moving these boards, so excuse me if I scream, even though I know it's there and it's not gonna hurt me, but it's just one of those things. It just freaks me out. I'm surprised I did not scream when I saw it sitting on the board. I'm going to move these boards, hopefully not freak out over mouse, and get this thing to the other barn. I did go ahead and measure the space that I needed to fill and measure this, and this is bigger. So I'll probably have just the gate kind of hit this, put some sort of board between this board and this board to hook it into one of the, there's like eyes on the gate. And then I'll probably put chicken wire or something on that so that they don't just jump through the hole. Now, unfortunately, the eyes are way down here, and I was thinking if I put chicken wire in this opening here, how on earth am I going to get to the hook and eye? So I put the board here at the top. Don't you come out, you stay in there. Stay in there. Oh, look, I'm big and scary. Run away. Run away. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to put this hook here, but I found the hook, but I didn't look for an eye. So I'll have to look for the eye. Hopefully it's in the same container that this was in. These are the eyes I found. Obviously too big, too small. This one I think is too big. This one might be too small. So I'm going to take these two over and hopefully one of them will work. This is the winner. It fits perfectly. Yay! So now we just have to get it on the door. It is getting late and I'm getting tired, so this is definitely going to be a 2-day project. Tomorrow I will get, hopefully tomorrow, I will get the chicken wire up on here. So I'll see you tomorrow. It's the next day. It's actually evening already. I was inside doing a bunch of food preservation stuff. Got out here and I went to open this sliding barn door and a bat just fell off the top of the door to the ground. And it's just laying there. I did see it move. Right there. I don't want to get too close to it. But hopefully it's okay. It did move. Maybe it's just still asleep. I think I can see it breathing. But I'm just going to leave it there and hope that it wakes up and flies off later. Not into the barn, hopefully. But yeah, it just fell off the top of the door. It must have been hanging from the track and then got on top of the door when I was pushing it, and then it just rolled off the top and fell down to the ground. The project for tonight, which I'm not as enthused about as I was yesterday. Kind of pretty tired after everything I was doing today. But I'm going to put chicken wire from here down to here, and then from here all the way over to here. And then if it's still light out, I might open the gate and let the little chicks out to see what they do. It might already be dark by then, so I might just wait till tomorrow to do that. Have I mentioned that I hate chicken wire? I really do not like working with it. Man. Ugh. The wall is moving quite a bit on the end where it's not attached. So I'm going to try to put some ankle braces, I guess. I'm going to put these by the wall in hopes that it won't move quite as much on this end. It'll probably still move because I'm not going to like attach it to the concrete or anything. This is a temporary measure. The rest of that chicken wire can just stay outside till tomorrow because I don't even want to look at it right now, let alone deal with it. Well, there we have it. Project most likely finished. There's one area that as they get bigger, if they're still over here, I might have to address. This area right here, there is a big gap here. So if they get big enough to jump up here, then they could just go through there. Of course, at the same time, they'll be big enough to jump up over this. And we'll have to address that as well. So I guess it's not an immediate concern. I might, fold this down and give it another round of staples tomorrow. But I'm not going to do that right now because it's just getting so late. I will see you tomorrow morning when I let the chickens out so you can see their first time on grass. It's going to be very exciting for them. It's not morning, it's actually afternoon because this morning I had to go run some errands and it was also raining, so I didn't want to just let them out into the rain. They may not have even gone. And since I wasn't going to be home, I want to make sure that they're safe for the first little bit. So I did come out and feed them this morning, but it is now time to release the babies for the very first time. Looks like they found a bug. That fluffy one in the front there, the black and white one, it was the free chicken. Still don't know what kind of chicken it is. Not sure if it's a rooster or not yet. But that one over there has got quite the comb on it. So I'm thinking it might be an accidental rooster because it was supposed to be a female. And I have no idea about the guineas. I have no idea how to tell if they're boys or girls. Well, this is definitely going to take a while before they get all the way out there in the grass, I think. But I have got to go in and eat lunch. So thank you for hanging out with me the last 3 days while we got this project going. And I can't wait to see you in the next video.